Yo, what's good, YouTube, Euphoria enthusiast, GCTV, back with another video. I'm here to bring you another episode, recap, review, whatever you want to call it, of Euphoria. This is the 6th episode of Season 1. We have 2 more episodes left in the season, and a total of 10 more episodes, 8 episodes for Season 2. We're kind of getting far in this thing. We're not quite at the halfway mark. We're not quite at the end of Season 1. We've already gotten a lot out of this season so far. I like how long the episodes are, but I don't know. You know, we got about a 50-minute episode here. It's the 6th episode. Yeah, let's see. On Halloween, Jules starts exhibiting concerning behavior, while Rue worries about her reliance on her to stay sober. You know, Jules isn't the type of character in the show to drink a lot or anything like that, even do drugs. You'd think so. She's more lustful for sex over drugs, which is a good thing. I'd much rather someone, although she is underage and both things are bad, she should probably be more of a sex addict than a drug addict, like realistically. Mckay questions his future in football. He's a very talented man. He has doubt in himself. He displays a lot of insecurities. After a weird night with Mckay, Cassie spends some time with Daniel, which was a very bad decision. She showed how unfaithful she was. Business is booming for Kat as she continues to push Ethan away. Very toxic. They have a very friendly relationship, and Ethan wants to take it the next step, and she's kind of not digging it. Nate comes up with a plan to get his life back on track, which is a very malicious plan, but in all fairness, the people that are trying to go against him in a lot of cases and stuff like that and trying to put him in even deeper water have done bad things themselves. Let's not act like 22-year-old Tyler of St. Mary's didn't rape Maddie, who is like 17 years old or 16 or whatever, however old she is. She's not 18. She might be 18 like right now in the show, but when he had sexual intercourse with her at Mckay's party, she was definitely not 18 quite yet. So yeah, let's not act like it's terrible that Nate does this. It's not terrible. Like, if you really look at the logistics of it, Jules sending him child pornography, like she could be on a sex offenders list. He has some very logical ways, but it's very manipulative, because obviously he's done stuff wrong. He has texted and used fake identities against an underage girl, sexting her, meeting up with her through his dad, which is even worse than him. And him and Tyler, him beating the shit out of Tyler. Like, if you wouldn't have beat the shit out of Tyler, Tyler would literally be screwed by now. I don't know. Nate comes up with a... yeah, I already said that. What are these noises? Fuck's sake. I keep hearing shit upstairs. I'm kind of scared. I'm tripping. But in this episode, you know how in every episode we have highlighted the childhood of one character, and I kind of caught on to that pattern pretty quickly. This time, Mckay is the character. Dude, what the fuck? During his childhood, Mckay dealt with intense pressure from Frederick Mckay, his father, but it was all good-hearted. You know, the competitiveness of that family. Oh my gosh, I'm not focused. This leads him to the cusp of going pro in football, but he eventually realizes he is one of many aspirants and that his odds of making it to the NFL are slim. He's a very smart guy. He weighs out his options very, scientifically and very calculated. Meanwhile, tensions brew as Mckay expresses discomfort towards the way Cassie dresses, opening up a rift between them that only seems to grow. Hey, it's the thing from Fortnite. Sorry. I'm not mad at him. I'm not mad at him for criticizing the way his girl dresses. Like, if she's dressing too sexual and too, like, pervert baited, like, that's the term, pervert baited. That's very good. Someone should put that in the dictionary, or the Urban Dictionary at least. She's dressing very baited. She wants people to look at her. I wouldn't like that if I was in a relationship. So I agree. Cassie should probably compromise with him. I keep hearing shit, dude. It's probably my chair. Meanwhile, Kat starts webcamming properly and making a good amount of money from it, so she started a career. Ironically, she heads off to Daniel's Halloween party dressed as a nun. That is pretty ironic now that I think about it, while Rue feels left out as the only sober one, sensing that something is off with Jules. I've been the only sober one in my friend groups plenty of times, and I don't feel left out about it. I feel honestly like the bigger person. I don't know. That's just me, though. Maybe she's peer pressured to do stuff. The way she conveys this sickening knot in her stomach is extremely well written, and throughout the episode we see through her sober lens the damage this is doing to her. She's very emotionally damaged. She's been emotionally damaged almost this entire series, and it's all from drugs. It's all from the withdrawals of being addicted to something. Now it's Jules. Jules is her drug now. Like, she's what she resorts to for affection and gratification. With Nate's reputation completely shattered, he finds solace in Maddie, hooking up with her while keeping an eye on everyone else from a distance. That's fucking insane, dude. He's insane. He then continues his crusade to besmirch Jules' reputation by printing out topless photos of her, which he later uses as blackmail to get her to confess, or as an eyewitness. Back at the Halloween party, Rue patches things up with Fez. That's good, but all the eyes are on Cassie. She starts dancing with Daniel. Cassie's very dirty, naughty girl. Her and Mckay's relationship is in a strange place, and via a flashback scene, we see him jumped by his roommates midway through having sex with Cassie. A terrible moment. One of the more disturbing scenes in Euphoria. I did not like watching that. That was not very pleasant. It was kind of gross. After being thrown violently on the floor and humiliated, he uncontrollably sobs in the bathroom. He might think that Cassie's thinks of him different, but I don't think so. I think they were in a pretty deep relationship at the time that this happened, so I don't know. Frightened and unsure of what to do, Cassie texts Lexi and tells her what happened. Go comfort him. Come on, that's very traumatic. After composing himself, Mckay emerges from the bathroom, but this time the romance factor has disappeared, and the two engage in an uncomfortable and hard-to-watch sex scene. Cassie's like, okay, I'll take my shirt off, I'll pull my pants down, we can go for round 2. I mean, it's really weird. It's really awkward. I don't understand why they decided to do that. In the present day, Cassie takes Daniel upstairs and things begin getting heavy, just as Mckay walks in the front door to the party. So this is a pretty intense situation because Mckay just arrived and Daniel and Cassie are just now getting into things. I thought I saw something upstairs. Whatever. I keep hearing shit. But, let's see. Dressed as an angel, a drunk Jules stumbles outside and falls in the pool, prompting Rue to escape to rescue her. She probably knows how to swim, but Rue just wanted to show her heroics, try to win her back in a way. Jules drunkenly spouts out lines from Romeo and Juliet, while Cassie has second thoughts about cheating on Mckay with Daniel. Good job, Cassie. As she refuses Daniel's advances, he throws down some seriously harsh words, telling her that she's not interesting and wishing her good luck with her boyfriend. I don't think Cassie's a lame person. I think Daniel is just butthurt at the whole situation. I would be too, fairly, but not like Daniel did. A musical montage then kicks in as we see all of our characters in various emotional states. Jeez. Nate heads to Tyler's house again, this time to give him a proposition. Leave my man Tyler alone, Nate. My God. He's going to confess to choking Maddie, and to make matters worse for him, Jewel is in on the act too, to give this statement some depth. So he's pretty much throwing Tyler under the bus and giving him an eyewitness. He's not escaping this. Obviously, if they figure out Jules is lying, she's fucking screwed. That's a felony. But how would they figure out that she lied? But then again, how does she know she's telling the truth? Given the incriminating photos Nate is holding against her, Jules doesn't have much of a choice, despite Detective Riley informing her that false evidence could lead up to 7 years in prison. If you lie about just one thing, one small little detail, you can get 7 years in prison. That's how serious of a felony lying is at the federal level. As it happens, this incident with the police and Tyler actually happened prior to the Halloween party, as Nate shows up with Maddie, much to the disdain of Jules, who looks on from a distance. So she's kind of like, oh shit, there's fucking Nate. I better stay away from him. Let's not keep any contact because it's going to look kind of suspicious. that's pretty much the episode. Young Mckay reciting America by Claude Mckay as he trains his father with his father on the football field. You know, Mckay showing him puking everywhere, just showing him some of the more memorable parts is like Mckay puking everywhere, showing how dedicated his father was to him being good at football. This isn't going to be that long of an episode or a YouTube video anyways. There wasn't too much to discuss. A lot of messed up shit has happened. But all of this messed up shit has been established in previous episodes of the series. You know, Cassie being kind of deceitful and kind of betraying, like damn near, has been shown with her nude pictures and her sex tapes and stuff like that. Nate being a shitty person and throwing people under the bus and giving them a one choice but not ideal choice situation. That's already happened a couple of times in the series. You know, Rue, throughout this episode, is confident that the good relationship between her and Jules will last quite some time, but it turns out that it's probably not going to. You know, Jules recited Romeo and Juliet Act 2, Scene 2 to Rue while swimming drunk in the pool. That was a pretty memorable moment, showing just how changed Jules is under the influence of alcohol. Obviously, she can't control it, but it's kind of crazy that you would know that. Yeah, Actually, the outfits that Jules and Rue, that's kind of insane because Rue and Jules, Romeo and Juliet, the same initials. They both wore the same costumes for Halloween that they wore in the actual movie, or the play, Romeo and Juliet. Apparently Lexi looks like Bob Ross. Let's see. The title of this episode is a reference to Dr. Dre and the single The Next Episode. Yeah, they have a lot of pop culture references in this show, and I respect them for that. They've built a wide audience around this show, and yeah, not much to say. There's some pretty Mckay and Cassie. Lizzo and Missy Elliott have a song on here. Anderson .Paak, Bubbling, that was fire. 151 Rum is a great song. I love that song. That's it. There's not really much to say. So what is building off of this is Nate and Maddie finally showing up in a public setting together after the allegations. Nate is in the clear for now. I don't know if it's going to come back and bite him in the ass. We're also observing the relationships of Rue and Jules and Nate and Mckay and Cassie. You know, those two relationships. We'll see how those boil down in the future episodes. We'll see how many more love advances Kat makes. Those like four situations, those four sets of characters kind of hold a lot more weight in the series than other characters do. For example, Lexi, people like her. Ethan, Ethan is kind of associated with Kat, but he's kind of like a throwaway character at the end of the day. That's all I gotta say. This wasn't as long as the other review episodes because I didn't have much to say. This episode, it wasn't like it was a bad episode. There just wasn't a lot of shock value shit that happened in the episode that completely blew me away. Obviously, except for the fact that Nate made people take the blame for his actions. That kind of fucked me up. But other than that, I'm so ready to watch the 7th episode of Euphoria tonight. So I'm out. I might do a Fortnite stream in a little bit. We'll have to see. I will definitely stream